We're going to be talking about adding and subtracting with regrouping. So when we talk about regrouping, we are talking about carrying. So that's when we're talking about adding, where we carry a number over to the next column to the left, the place value column to the left. And then we borrow, right? So we borrow a 10 and we move it over to the ones column, or we borrow from the hundreds column and move it over the tens column. So what we're going to do is 2 examples today. We're going to do an addition example and a subtraction example. The first thing that we need to talk about is place value. Place value is the most important thing in understanding why we need to regroup when we are adding and subtracting numbers. So on example number 1, 49 plus 8. What we need to understand is that there is a place value system, which means each of these digits in these numbers have a value, okay? So in our far right column, in a whole number, this is our ones column, okay? In our second column, right, so our second column from the right, that is our tens column, okay? So it's going to be really important that you guys understand that this is the ones column, this is the tens column, okay? Now, when we start to actually solve this, what we're going to do is we're just going to add. So we can use a couple of different strategies. How I like to do it in my head is I start with 9 in my head, and then I count on 8. So I add 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay? So 9 plus 8 is 17. But I can't write 17 here because there's only one digit that's allowed to be in each place value. Okay? So what that means is we are going to leave the 7 because just like our problem, right, if we write it over here, okay, we're talking about place value. Our 7 is in the ones column. Our 1 is in the tens column. I'm going to scoot up my camera situation a little bit here, guys. Okay, so our 7 is in our ones column. Our 1 is in our tens column, okay? So when we are writing the answer to 9 plus 8, we can't write 17 because only one digit goes in the ones column, okay? So what we write is the 7 because the 7 is in the ones column. Now, what do we do with this 10? We have to figure out something to do with it, right? We don't know. We got to figure it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually carry the 10 to our tens column over here, and we're going to add those together. So now we have 1 10 from 17 plus the 4 tens that were already there. So our answer in our tens column, so 1 plus 4 is 5. So your answer is 57 for that problem, okay? Now, on our subtraction problem, we're also going to talk about place value, okay? So we're going to mark it up just like we did on example number 1 because we need to know which one's the ones column, which one's the tens column. So this is ones, and this is the tens, okay? Now, what I want you guys to understand is that now we're talking about borrowing, right? Now we need to borrow from our 6. Because if I have 4 circles right here, 4 cookies, let's call it, I only have 4. Can I take away 9? Could I give 9 to you guys if I only had 4? Not in a whole number situation. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be borrowing a 10. So we're turning this 10 into a 5. And this 4 in our ones column turns into a 14 because we're bringing the 10 over. Okay? So 14 minus 9. So we can start with 14 and count backwards 9 times. So 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay? So 14 minus 9 is 5. 5. Now we go to our tens column. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay?